Today we have the Champions League, but it's bigger than ever. Welcome back, guys, and yeah, your ears didn't mislead you. We're gonna have the Champions League, but it's going to be massive. Instead of having the regular 32 clubs that participate year after year in the Champions League, or next season's 36 clubs, we're actually gonna have 64 clubs participate. And to make this competition even cooler, every single European division that isn't FC24 will have an equal amount of clubs play in our Champions League. So let me introduce you to our 64 participants, but before we do that, as always, guys, please hit the like button for me. Of course, if you enjoy the content in the video, and if you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button with the little noti bell. It helps me out a ton. I would really appreciate it as well. Let's go. It is 64 clubs in a Champions League. So there's a total of 18 European first divisions that are in FC24. So the top 3 out of each division will qualify for our Champions League. That will give us a total of 54 clubs, and the other 10 clubs will come from the rest of the world section. Now, to find the top 3 clubs out of every single division that's going to qualify for our Champions League, we actually simmed a full season on FC24. Let's find out who qualifies and who doesn't. We're gonna start in Austria, and coming out of Austria to play in our Champions League, it will be RB Salzburg, Sturm Graz, and SK Rapid Vienna. From the Belgian Pro League, it will be Club Brugge, Royal Antwerp, and Genk. From Denmark, and there's no surprises here, it will be FC Copenhagen, FC Nordsjælland, and FC Midtjylland. The fourth league on the list is the Premier League, and the top 3 in the Premier League, there's actually a couple surprises here. It is Arsenal who finished in first, Newcastle he finished in second, and Manchester City finished in third. They are all in. Moving to France, and it will be, of course, PSG. That's no surprise, but a surprising Lille who finished in second, and Marseille finished in third. They all qualify. Monaco, RC Lens, and Olympique Lyonnais, and Nice, they all miss out. From the Bundesliga, of course, Bayern Munich, they will be there. They won the league on 77 points. RB Leipzig finished in second, so they qualify. And the third team will be Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen. Borussia Dortmund came in fourth, so they're not getting in here. From Serie A in Italy, Inter Milan won the league on 88 points. They are in. Roma finished in second. They are also in. And Juventus is in third. So no Lazio and no AC Milan and no Napoli. Then we head to Netherlands, where Ajax actually finished first. That's surprising because in real life they're struggling. Feyenoord in second. AZ Alkmaar in third. PSV does not qualify. Poland will also have 3 teams that get in, and Legia Warszawa is in. They finished top after 34 matches. Lech Poznan, they are also in. They finished second, and the third team is Rako. Portugal, the top 3, yeah, there's no surprises in Portugal. It will be Porto, it will be Benfica, and it will be Sporting. Believe it or not, Romania is also going to have 3 clubs that participate, and they are FCSB, they finished first, Farul Constanta in second, and FCU 1948 Craiova. I hope I said that right. From the Scottish Premiership, it will be Celtic, it will be Hearts, who finished in second, and third went to Rangers. And now we come to La Liga. Well, Real Madrid won the league on 82 points, so they are in. Barcelona came in second. They are also in. But third place, it did not go to Athletic Club Bilbao or Atletico Madrid. It went to Sevilla. So Sevilla gets in. All the other ones don't. From the Swiss Super League, it will be FC Basel. They finished top. Young Boys finished in second, and FC Zurich came in third. They are all qualifying. The Turkish Super League, it will be Galatasaray, it will be Besiktas, and it will be a surprising Başakşehir. It won't be Fenerbahce or Trabzonspor. Başakşehir stole third place. 3 clubs from Norway will also get a shot at a Champions League trophy, and it will be Bodo Glimt, it will be Lillestrøm SK, they finished in second, and Molde rounded off the top 3. Yes, the Republic of Ireland is very, very bad on FC24, but they're gonna have 3 clubs as well. They're gonna be Dundalk, Derry City, and Bohemian. So no Shamrock Rovers. I think Shamrock is like the favorite to win all the time, but they finished in 4th, so they're not getting in. And how can we forget about Sweden, guys? Well, from Sweden, it will be Hammarby, it will be Djurgårdens, and Malmo. They are the top 3. They all qualify. So now we know our 54 clubs from the 18 first European divisions, but we need 10 more to make it 64. They're obviously coming from the rest of the world section. And we're going to take the 10 highest rated European clubs from the rest of the world section, but we're also going to make sure that every country has at least 1 club that participates. So from Czechia, it will be Slavia Praha and Sparta Praha. They are both in. From Greece, we will have Panathinaikos that gets in, and we're going to have AEK Athens. They're the 2 Greek sides that qualify. Croatia is also going to have 2 clubs that participate, one being Dinamo Zagreb, and the other one, of course, being Hajduk Split. From Croatia to Ukraine, Ukraine will also have 2 clubs, one being Dinamo Kiev, and the other one is none other than Shakhtar Donetsk. Only 2 clubs left, and how can we leave out the Hungarian side, Ferencvaros? And the last participant in our 64 club Champions League will go to the Cyprus side, Apoel. It came between Apoel and Helsinki from Finland, but Apoel is just higher rated. They're gonna qualify. So how are the 64 clubs gonna participate and be seeded? Well, we're gonna be using the pot of gold. You guys love the pot of gold. I know you guys love the wheel as well, but today we're gonna use the pot of gold, and it won't be groups of 4, it will be groups of 8. It's gonna be absolute chaos. 8 groups of 8. Now, the magic pot of gold has actually never disappointed us. If you've watched our previous videos, you know that the pot of gold always delivers. So please, pot of gold, give us the first 8 clubs that are going into Group A. And they are Dinamo Zagreb, AEK Athens, Djurgårdens from Sweden, Genk, Farul Constanta from Romania, RB Salzburg from Austria, Basel from Switzerland, and Porto from Portugal. That is an absolute wild group. I have no idea who will be making it out. By the way, just a disclaimer, it won't be the top 2 that make it out of each group. It will be the top 4, so we can get to the round of 32. So 4 of these 8 clubs will move on, and 4 will be eliminated. I'm absolutely loving the start the pot of gold has given us for Group A. Let's find the next 8 clubs that are going into Group B. They are gonna be Derry City, Royal Antwerp, FCU 1948 Craiova, Galatasaray, Sturm Graz, Marseille from France, Hammarby, and Dundalk. Group C, 8 clubs for Group C. Here we go. We got some big ones on the board. Hajduk Split from Croatia, Celtic from Scotland, PSG is here, Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine, Real Madrid is in this group, Newcastle is in this group, Apoel from Cyprus, and Feyenoord. This might be the group of death. Group C is definitely the group of death. PSG, Real Madrid, Newcastle, Feyenoord, those are 4 strong clubs. Shakhtar Donetsk, maybe they can pull an upset. Celtic as well is pretty strong. Apoel and Hajduk Split, I don't know if they can win a couple of, maybe they can win a couple of games. Maybe. I told you guys that the pot of gold never disappoints. We need 8 clubs for Group D. What do we got? Roma, Başakşehir, FC Midtjylland, Sporting, SK Rapid Vienna, Legia Warszawa, Barcelona, and Bodo Glimt. 4 groups down, 4 groups to go, guys. So far, every single group is absolutely insane. Let's find the next 8 clubs for Group E. What are you giving us, magic pot of gold? Dynamo Kiev, FC Nordsjælland, Slavia Praha, AZ Alkmaar, Bayer Leverkusen is in here, Lille is in here from France, Panathinaikos, and Club Bruges. We're now looking for 8 clubs for Group F. Hearts, Rangers, Juventus, Lillestrøm, Lech Poznan, Ferencváros, Ajax, and Arsenal. 6 of the 8 groups are finished, guys. We're looking for Group G, 8 clubs. Pot of gold. Give us something nice and tasty. Malmo, Inter Milan, FCSB, Young Boys, Sparta Praha, FC Copenhagen, Bayern Munich, and the Irish side Bohemian FC. One last group, the 8th group, Group H. The last 8 clubs that are going into Group H are Rakow from Poland, Manchester City, RB Leipzig, Besiktas, Sevilla, FC Zurich, Molde, and Benfica. Actually, this might be the group of death because we have City, we have Leipzig, we have Besiktas, we have Sevilla, and Benfica. 5 massive clubs battling it out for 4 spots. Okay, it took a while, but I seeded all the 64 clubs into 8 groups of 8, exactly how the pot of gold gave them to us. But the way it's going to work is going to be just a little bit different than the regular Champions League. The clubs are not going to play a home and away. They're just going to play 1 match against each other. So every club will play a total of 7 matches in their group. The top 4 after the group stage matches will advance to the round of 32. And starting with the round of 32, it's going to be World Cup style, where we won't have a home and away knockout. It's just going to be a 1-match knockout. I think a 1-match elimination will just cause more drama and more upsets. So let's go to the end of the group stage matches and see who are the top 4 clubs that will be progressing to the round of 32 of our 64 club Champions League. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right, guys, that also took forever, but finally all the group stage matches are done. We can go through group by group to see the top 4 clubs that are making it to the round of 32. Let's go. It is Group A, and in Group A, Porto topped the group on 19 points. Dinamo Zagreb, though, came in second. There was a big gap between first and second, actually. Porto on 19, second place. Dinamo Zagreb was only on 11 points, so an 8-point gap. Basel in third, and AEK Athens rounded off the top 4. They are the top 4 clubs that are progressing into the round of 32. Salzburg, Ghent, Farul Constanta from Romania, and Djurgårdens from Sweden, they are all going home. In Group B, it was Royal Antwerp that topped it on 16 points, with Marseille right behind them on 15 points. Galatasaray was kind of fighting it out, battling it out to stay in those top 4. They finished in 3rd place on 11 points, and then 4th place went to Hammarby. Hammarby finished in 4th, so they actually progressed. They qualified, while Derry City, Sturm Graz, last. Craiova from Romania and Dundalk, they are all eliminated. Group C had a lot of big clubs in the group, and PSG topped it on 18 points, actually tied with Real Madrid, who was also on 18 points. Feyenoord from the Netherlands in third place on 13 points, and Celtic came in fourth, therefore eliminating Newcastle United, who actually came in fifth. Celtic progressed, Newcastle are eliminated. Başakşehir topped the group on 16 points. Roma in second, Barcelona in third. They were also fighting to stay in those top four places. Sporting came in fourth and rounded off the top four. Bodo Glimt, Midtjylland, Rapid Vienna, and Legia Warszawa, they were all not good enough. Bodo Glimt tried to keep pace. They finished only 2 points behind Sporting, but Midtjylland, Rapid Vienna, and Legia Warszawa, bye-bye. Group E was probably the favorite that topped it. It was Xabi Alonso and Bayer Leverkusen. They won every single match. 7 wins from 7 on 21 points. An 8-point gap between first and second place, which went to AZ Alkmaar. Club Brugge in third on 12 points, and Lille rounded off the top 4 in Group E. Unfortunately for Panathinaikos, Dynamo Kiev, Slavia Praha, and FC Nordsjælland, who were actually horrendous. They lost all their 7 matches and only scored 5 goals while conceding 20. All those 4 bottom ones are eliminated. Group F, Arsenal went undefeated and topped the group. Juventus are closed second on 14 points. Ferencvaros, they qualify. They finished in third ahead of Ajax, who came in fourth. And then Lech Poznan, they just missed out, unfortunately. Only 1 point behind Ajax in fifth. Rangers, very disappointing, only on 7 points. Hearts, also from Scotland, also very disappointing. And Lillestrøm from Norway, 1-0-6, 3 points, just not good enough. Group G, no surprises here. Bayern Munich 4-2-1 on 14 points. They topped the group, but a surprising BSC Young Boys were tied with Bayern Munich for second place. Inter Milan in third, and Malmo finished in fourth. Sparta Praha, FCSB, a surprising and disappointing Copenhagen, all the way in 7th place in this group. I thought they would do much better. They're eliminated, and Bohemian MC from Ireland also going home. And finally, the last group, a lot of big teams and a couple of dark horse clubs, and I think my shirt just fell off the back of my chair. Oh well, it is what it is. Benfica topped the group, guys, 15 points. Manchester City also on 15 points. They're in second. Sevilla in third on 14 points. Leipzig in fourth on 13 points. And Besiktas, they just ran out of gas. They finished in fifth on 12 points. Those top 5 teams, though, they kind of beat up on Zurich, Molde, and Rako, who finished 6th, 7th, and 8th, and ultimately all were on 4 points. They were just not good enough whatsoever. Unfortunately for Besiktas, they fall into the bottom 4, so they're eliminated. So in the round of 32, which is the round 1 here, it will be Bayern Munich versus Feyenoord. Juventus will take on the Greek side AEK Athens. Porto will face Club Brugge. Real Madrid will take on Leipzig from Germany. That should be an interesting one. Başakşehir will face the Swiss side Basel. Olympique Marseille will take on Lille, so France versus France in that matchup. PSG will take on the Hungarian side Ferencvaros. I don't know if Ferencvaros can get by PSG. That's kind of an unlucky draw for them. Roma will face Celtic. Benfica will take on Inter Milan. Big match. Dinamo Zagreb versus Ajax. Maybe Dinamo Zagreb can pull off an upset there. Arsenal will take on the Turkish side Galatasaray. AZ Alkmaar will take on Sporting from Portugal. Royal Antwerp versus Barcelona. Barcelona are definitely the favorites. Man City versus Malmo. Man City is definitely the favorites. Leverkusen will take on Sevilla, though. That is a big one. And then Young Boys will take on Hammarby. You saw the round of 32 matchups, guys. It's only one knockout match. Make your predictions down below. Who is advancing to the round of 16? The round of 32 is over, guys. And remember that I said having only one knockout match may cause some unpredictable results and some upsets. And I would say that we have a bit of both. Let's go through it. Bayern Munich versus Feyenoord. Well, Feyenoord won 3-2. So Bayern Munich is eliminated. One match, one knockout. Feyenoord somehow pulled it off. 3-2 is the final. Feyenoord is progressing. Juventus versus Athens, though. Juventus is also progressing. They beat AEK Athens 2-1. Porto versus Club Brugge. 2-0 for Porto. Club Brugge is eliminated. Porto progresses to the round of 16. But then Real Madrid, they lost 2-1 to RB Leipzig in the first match. And since there's no second leg, they're just going home. Başakşehir and Basel went all the way to penalties, and Başakşehir won 4-3, eliminating Basel in the process. Olympique Marseille versus versus Lille. It was a close one. It was 2-1 for Marseille. Lille with Jonathan David is going home. Aubameyang with Marseille is moving on. PSG is also moving on. Ferencvaros from Hungary couldn't pull it off. They kept it close. It was 2-1 the final score, but they are also going home. PSG is in the round of 16. Roma beat up on Celtic 4-1. That was probably expected. Roma is moving on. Celtic is eliminated. But Benfica eliminated Inter Milan 2-1. So Inter is going home. Benfica is in the round of 16. Dinamo Zagreb tried to keep pace with Ajax, but Ajax scored 4 goals against them, beating them 4-2. So Dinamo Zagreb is also going home, and Ajax is progressing. Arsenal is also progressing, nudging Galatasaray by a very, very slim margin there. 2-1. Galatasaray is unfortunately eliminated. Arsenal is progressing. AZ Alkmaar lost 3-1 to Sporting. Sporting is moving on. AZ Alkmaar is saying bye-bye. But then somehow Barcelona lost 3-2 to Royal Antwerp. One leg, anything can happen. Royal Antwerp pull it off, although Malmo couldn't pull it off against Manchester City because they lost 4-0. Bayer Leverkusen and Sevilla went scoreless all the way to penalties, but Bayer Leverkusen won 3-1 on penalties. And the last round of 32 matchups, it was BSC Young Boys versus Hammarby. The scoreline was 3-0, and it wasn't for Hammarby, it was for Young Boys. They are in the round of 16. So a round of 16, it has some fairy tale run sides, and it also has some big clubs. Feyenoord will take on Juventus. FC Porto will take on RB Leipzig. Probably a coin toss. Başakşehir versus Marseille should be a good one. PSG will take on Roma. Benfica will take on Ajax. Arsenal will take on Sporting from Portugal. Arsenal doesn't have a good record against Portuguese sides, so I'm probably thinking Sporting will win that one. Royal Antwerp, after beating Barcelona, now they gotta play Manchester City. I don't think they're gonna be as lucky this time. And then Bayer Leverkusen will take on Young Boys from Switzerland. The round of 16 is over. Do we have some surprising results? I would say maybe a couple, that is for sure. Feyenoord versus Juventus. Well, the Feyenoord's luck has run out. They ran into Juventus, and Juventus beat them 3-1. It was only a one leg, remember that? Juventus is going to the quarterfinals, the last stage. Porto versus Leipzig. Leipzig lost 2-0 to Porto, guys. Porto is also in the quarterfinals. Leipzig is going home in the round of 16. But then Başakşehir eliminated Marseille. They beat them 2-1. So Marseille is going home, and Başakşehir from Turkey is going to be in the quarterfinals. And Roma got by PSG also 2-1. Somehow, some way, Roma found a way to beat PSG. So PSG is eliminated. Is it possible to happen for Roma to beat PSG? I would say so. Roma is still a quality side, but it's definitely a surprising result. Benfica put an end to Ajax's journey. They beat them 3-2, while Arsenal finally got by a Portuguese side, and they won 2-1 over Sporting. And let's be realistic here. Even though Royal Antwerp somehow, some way pulled out a victory against Barcelona, they were never getting by Manchester City, and that is the exact case here. Man City rolled them 5-2. And then finally, Bayer Leverkusen took care of business against Young Boys from Switzerland 4-1. So our last remaining 8 clubs and the quarterfinals are as follows. Juventus will take on Porto. Başakşehir will face Roma. Benfica will face Arsenal. So Arsenal has to play another Portuguese side after beating Sporting. And then Manchester City will take on Bayer Leverkusen. The 4 quarterfinals are over, guys. Juventus versus Porto, and Porto continues their mad journey. They beat Juventus 2-0. Porto will be in the semi-finals. Başakşehir versus Roma. Başakşehir was definitely the underdog going into this matchup, and they lost 2-0. So Roma is also going to be in our last 4, and Arsenal beat Sporting, beating one Portuguese side in the quarterfinals, but then they couldn't get by the other Portuguese side in Benfica. They lost 2-1 to Benfica, which means we're going to have 2 Portuguese sides in our semi-finals. That is insane. And the last matchup, it was Manchester City versus Bayer Leverkusen, and unfortunately for Bayer Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso, they kind of just, their tank went on empty, and they lost 3-2 to Manchester City. So Manchester City is the last team that's going to be in our semi-finals. And the semi-finals will be Porto versus Roma. One of them will be in the final, and Benfica will try and upset Manchester City. Highly unlikely, but we could technically see an all-Portuguese final if Porto and Benfica win. I don't see it happening. I think it will be Roma and Manchester City, or maybe Porto and Manchester City, but Manchester City for sure will be in the final here. The semi-finals are done. Porto versus Roma. Roma's journey, it comes to an end in the semi-finals. Porto, they continue their absolute miraculous run. They beat Roma 3-2, and then Benfica versus Manchester City. Will we have an all-Portuguese final? And the answer is no. Manchester City beat up on Benfica 5-2. That was probably expected, which means our final, it will have one big, heavy club in Manchester City and quite a surprising underdog in Porto. Maybe we shouldn't count out Porto though, because in the round of 16 they got by Leipzig, in the quarterfinals they got by Juventus, and in the semifinals they got by Roma. So are they capable of beating this Manchester City side? I think they're still the underdog, but maybe they can pull it off. There is the Champions League trophy, and we are at the Arena of Schalke in Germany for this Champions League final, the 64 club Champions League final. This is going to be quite the matchup. One favorite club, one underdog club. Who will be crowned champion? All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans watching everywhere, it is the Champions League final. It is Porto versus Manchester City. I mean, did we expect Manchester City to be in this final? Probably. We expected Manchester City to go deep, but Porto, I mean, they have done pretty well. Seriously, they really have, and they're on the attack here, and they take the 1-0 lead through the Canadian, Steven Eustachio. Porto's obviously in their yellow kits, Man City's in their blue kits. Okay, the Porto fans are going nuts. There's no way Porto wins this Champions League, right? No way. I mean, they've won the Champions League before, but this would be outrageous. 1-0 Porto. Erling Haaland has him covered. Varela will go out wide to Gvardiol. No, Gvardiol to Pepe. What am I talking about? Gvardiol. Gvardiol plays for Manchester City. My gosh, I have everyone confused here. It's going to be very interesting to see how Man City will respond. Rodri receives the ball from Akanji, back to Rodri, back to Julian Alvarez. And Rodri will control the ball again. He will play it to Julian Alvarez. It's all Man City with the possession here, and they're slowly but surely going forward here through Haaland. Haaland tries to make the pass, but it is intercepted. Ivan Nilsson to Varela. Varela will go out wide to Pepe. Carrying forward. Inside to Eustachio. The hero so far for Portugal. For Porto. From Portugal. My commentating skills in this match are just atrocious. Maybe it's because it took forever to record this video. It really does take a long time. Seriously. These videos sometimes take hours to record. Haaland with the ball. Haaland into the box. Bernardo. There he was coming. It was coming. Bernardo Silva. 1-1. It's all square. It's all even in the 37th minute. Porto has no answer. Haaland bursts into the box, lays it off to Bernardo Silva. He picks a corner. We're all tied up. Out wide to João Mario. João Mario to Mehdi Taremi. They need to get Mehdi Taremi back on the ball as halftime is called. It is 1-1, all up for grabs in the second half. Second half is underway. Will we see a winner in regular time? Or maybe we'll go to extra time. Ruben Diaz. Rodri to Bernardo Silva. Foden takes the wide route. Tries to get around. He does. No, he doesn't. Nice layoff to Haaland, but Pepe, the experience of Pepe. 40 or 41 is he now? He is old and he's still playing. Marco Grujic is coming on for Porto, and Grealish is coming on for Jeremy Doku. Grujic, is he a former Liverpool man, I believe? 85th minute. It's do or die for any team. Now or never. You score, you win, basically. Haaland, Silva going forward, covered by Wendell. Is that going to be a corner? It is going to be a corner. 88th minute corner for Manchester City. Foden will take it short. Foden into the box. Akanji holding on. Is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? No, it's not. Okay, I thought the ref pointed to the spot, but he pointed for a corner. Oh my gosh. If this goes in, that's the game. Oh! Diogo Costa with a save. That is a save of the match. And we are going to go to extra time here. First half of extra time, guys. I don't know who's going to win. Galeno, Gonzalez, step overs. Evan Nielsen, is there a shot? Martinez. Oh my gosh. Porto. Martinez scores for Porto in extra time. Unbelievable scenes here. A fresh substitute, fresh legs, fresh goal. 2-1 Porto. And that is the end of the first half of extra time. Man City's got 15 minutes to figure it out. Well, here comes the last 15 minutes. Are we going to go to penalties? Or can Manchester City claw their way back into this match? Jack Grealish. João Mario does excellent. Tony Martinez will lay it off to Nico Gonzalez. Evan Nielsen. Martinez will go out wide to Galeno. Galeno will carry forward. Is there another goal on the cards for Porto? Galeno. Oh my, what's he doing? Martinez. Evan Nielsen. Shot. Wow. Porto Unbelievable. Porto returns back to their Champions League winning ways. Is there a whistle? A final whistle? There it is! Porto is back! Did they ever leave? They will celebrate all night long here. What can you say about Porto? An unreal performance. Did they deserve it? Yeah, they're a good quality side. I can't believe it. Pepe will come up to grab this Champions League trophy. And out of 64 clubs, it is Porto that are crowned champions. Scenes, scenes, scenes. My friends, if you guys enjoy the content, please hit the like button for me. Please hit the subscribe button as well. Porto are champions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know your thoughts down below, how you felt about this final, what you thought about Porto's performance. Pepe can now retire in peace as a Champions League winner. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Peace, 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 peace. Porto, I can't believe it. Peace.